Well, on the 15th of December 2002, Shaun James left his home in Cinderford to go and collect some money from a friend who he did some work for the previous day. On collecting the money, he then went on an afternoon's visit to public houses in and around the Cinderford area. The very last public house he visited, the Upper Bilson, Valley Road, Cinderford, he left at about 6:45 p.m. to walk home. Unfortunately, he never got there, and his lifeless body was found in a lane off of Steam Mills Road in Cinderford at about 7:05 p.m. that evening. An ambulance was called, but unfortunately Shaun died at the scene.
Now you're treating this as a murder inquiry?
Yes, back at the time there was a lot of speculation about what had occurred. However, all the evidence pointed to the fact that Shaun had been hit by a vehicle which had failed to stop. However, the vehicle or the person responsible driving the vehicle were never found. We've had a cold case review of the investigation recently, where we've put together all the new information that's come to light since 2002, together with a forensic reconstruction using new techniques which have evolved over the years, and we've reached a very different conclusion. We now believe that Shaun was murdered, and we're appealing for the community of Cinderford to help us and let us know what occurred and to help us find who was responsible.
Now, he was a well-known man because he was a local man, local to Cinderford, local to the forest, and a family man, a loved man by his family and friends.
Very much so. Shaun was a 32-year-old man. He was a local builder, a very hard worker, worked for a local firm. He had a daughter, Layla, who was just an infant, and a son, Jesse, who'd just become a teenager. He also had a loving partner, Lisa, and they lived together, and it was their home that he left at around about lunchtime on the 15th of December in 2002. And that was the last time he left his home.
And obviously that must have impacted on the family, and still does impact on the family very much.
Very much so. 12 years later, and all members of the family, including his extended family, his ex-wife, his mother, brother, they're all deeply, deeply hurt by what has occurred. And of course they want answers, just to bring some justice to what has happened. And if anything, to bring closure. There's never been proper closure for them about exactly how Shaun died and who was responsible.
And I guess that resonates within the community as well, because the forest is quite a close-knit community, isn't it?
Very much so, a very close-knit community in Cinderford, and that is why we're making this appeal now. We really do believe that the answer to what happened to Shaun lies in the community, and we're urging anybody to come forward who knows any small piece of information, no matter how insignificant they may feel it may be, to come forward and talk to us and help us piece together exactly what happened to Shaun and find who was responsible and enable us to bring them to justice. There's also a £5,000 reward being offered by the police for information leading directly to the arrest and conviction of those people or that person who's responsible for Shaun's death.
It's also the close anniversary of Shaun's death. It was December 2002, so we're looking at 12 years ago. And often people remember anniversaries, especially around Christmas time.
Very much so. It was 12 years ago on the 15th of December when the incident occurred. And Shaun left the Upper Bilson public house at about 6:45 p.m. to walk home, which was about 10 minutes away. On his walk home, there's a final sighting of him at 6:55 p.m, where he stood in the middle of the road talking to the driver of a white van which is travelling in the opposite direction. Shaun's body is then found approximately 10 minutes later in a lane off of Steam Mills Lane. Immediately before that, another sighting of a white van leaving the lane at speed. Now, we don't believe the sightings of the white van in Valley Road and the lane off of Steam Mills Road are a coincidence. We believe something happened in Valley Road involving the driver of the white van. In the middle of the road where Shaun was talking to this driver, one of his shoes and his tobacco pouch had been found. We think that there was an altercation or something similar occurred in Valley Road. Shaun was then taken in the back of the van to the lane off of Steam Mills Road, and he was then deliberately run over and killed. It would have been impossible for Shaun to walk from Valley Road to the lane at Steam Mills Road in the time span between the finding of his body and him talking to the driver of the transit van. And that is one of the main reasons why I believe Shaun was deliberately taken there and deliberately murdered.
If anyone wants to contact you, what's the best form? How can they contact you?
We have a dedicated major incident room set up at police headquarters in Gloucester. The direct telephone number for that line is 01452 754544. Alternatively, people can dial 101, or they can contact us anonymously through Crime Stoppers on 0800 555 111.